So let's see what we've got here. Chop and swing, we've got things like MIDI clips of drums. Let's take a basic drum. Okay, I'm going to drag it over to here so that I have this super loud. Let me bring it down to -12. Okay, let's put in something like a tonal one, a bass line. Okay, I'm going to drag in this. Take a note, this is a sample loop which is in E minor. Well, it says it's in E minor. We'll find out later on. Now I want to create a MIDI track, and I want to create something which can be compatible with it. I've double-clicked so I get a blank MIDI track, MIDI clip. But how do I know it's going to match E minor? If I just randomly, let's say, let me put in a sound. Let me put in a sound of a synthetic something, a synthetic synthesizer, sounds. Okay, I'll drag it in here. If I just randomly put in notes, let's say how do we put in notes? I'm going to, whatever notes I write, I can write notes anywhere. And it will be probably out of key. Right, so it's off key. I mean, some of you might like it, but it's not matching, right? Let's look at this. Am I actually in E minor? So I've clicked now on the bass loop, right? Let me check. Is it actually in E minor? Now, do you see that all the purple, that's all this purple? It's highlighting what notes are in the key of E minor. So and it's starting with an E. So yeah, to use a local phrase, tunbo, is yes, it is truly appears to be roughly in E minor. So if I go to my, let's say I write a blank, right? Okay, I don't want this blank because this blank is like off key. Then you want to hear the off key on again? Okay, that's hurt my. I have been saved by the fact that this little purple button is on. Do you see this purple button here? This purple button means that the scale awareness is on. And it's actually aware that I've got an E minor sample in because Ableton talks to itself, right? Now have the purple button on, the scale awareness button on, and now I will only end up drawing on the scale notes. Oh, I'm not. I'm drawing on off notes, right? I should do something about this. There's an easier way to do this, which is I can actually click on the scale button here. You see the scale button at the top of the clip next to highlight scale? Bam. So now only scale notes appear. You will see, if you look down the side, it's from C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. None of the in-between notes appear. So now 100% what I will be in the key of E minor. So don't believe, let me put in another one. I need to hide this sense, sorry. Mixer controls, hide the sense. Okay, let's go to another one. I'll make it a different color so it's easier to see. So I'm just randomly doing, I have no clue what it sounds like. there you have it. You can now create in the key, right? And this actually also enables you to write in other keys which don't normally you use. So for example, the other modes like Phrygian, Dorian, Aeolian, let's try something a little unusual. Okay, remember what this sounds like. Let's turn this into Phrygian. What is that going to sound like? Oh, look at this. Certain notes are no longer in a Phrygian mode. So I got to move them. This one. So now they're all Phrygian. All these Phrygian notes. Okay. I go back to this one. What about this one? Is it in Phrygian? No, this is still in E minor. Let me change it to Phrygian. This is the bass. This is the bass. Let me move this. Now, I normally would not write anything in the Phrygian mode because it's just like not natural to me. It's not something that in my limited years of piano, I actually learned Phrygian scale. But this is what it sounds like in Phrygian now. Yeah. Thanks for the idea. Let's turn it up to 150 and let's hear what 999. 150. Okay, let's hear what it sounds like. So you can see that in a Phrygian scale. And what if I decided, you know what, I don't want it to be so dark and moody, right? And why don't I change it to major scale instead? Let's go to major. Ooh, now let's see how can we make this in the major scale. Again, change this to major. And let's move the notes to major scale notes. Any more here? Then go over to this one also, change to major scale. Major scale. And then this one also change to major scale. Okay, let's hear. Maybe it's not so fast. Maybe this one has to be about 100 instead. Okay, so you can see I can actually change the song from minor to major without any major problems. Sorry. Please try on yourself. Use the chop and swing pack and then use the MIDI clips. And then you can use this playing around with the scale. Then try changing the different scales and try just drawing in your own notes using the scale awareness. I'll come around and help if you're not sure.